Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today we are diving into the fascinating history of one of the smallest, yet historically rich coins in Philippine currency, the 10 Sentimo coin from 1970. Don't underestimate its size, because behind this little coin lies a story of heritage, culture, politics, and national identity. The 1970s marked a significant decade for the Philippines. Under President Ferdinand Marcos, the country was undergoing massive political and economic changes. Coins minted during this era reflect not just monetary value but also the national narrative that was being carefully shaped. The 10 Sentimo 1970 is a perfect example of this. The coin itself belongs to the Pilipino Series, which was introduced in 1967. This series replaced the English series that had been circulating since the 1950s. The switch from English inscriptions to the Filipino language symbolized a growing sense of national pride and independence. On the obverse of the 1970 10 Sentimo, we see the figure of Apolinario Mabini, one of the most revered heroes of the Philippines, known as the brains of the revolution. Mabini's inclusion on the coin highlighted his role in shaping the country's fight for independence. His image was chosen to inspire patriotism and remind Filipinos of their revolutionary roots. The reverse of the coin featured the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. This seal embodied sovereignty, unity, and governance, important themes in the years leading up to the declaration of martial law in 1972. The coin, therefore, was not just money, but also a subtle message of national identity. The material of the 10 Sentimo 1970 coin was brass, giving it a golden color that set it apart from other small denominations. It was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use, especially during a time when public transportation, street vendors, and small-scale trade flourished. Its diameter was around 17 millimeters, making it one of the smallest coins in circulation at the time. Many Filipinos remember carrying several of these coins in their pockets to buy candies, newspapers, or even a ride in a jeepney. But beyond its everyday utility, the coin had symbolic significance. By honoring Mabini, the government reinforced the idea that heroes of the past should guide the decisions of the present and the future. Collectors today value the 10 Sentimo 1970, not just for its monetary worth but for the historical context it represents. It tells the story of a nation, asserting its cultural identity through language and design. The 1970s also saw economic challenges, with inflation and rising costs. Coins like the 10 Sentimo gradually lost much of their purchasing power, yet they remained an essential part of the economy, because small change kept the circulation system alive. Over the years, these coins were used so frequently that many are now found in heavily worn conditions. Finding a 1970 10 Sentimo in uncirculated or mint. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Coins World. Today we dive into the fascinating journey of a small but powerful coin, the Philippine 10 Sentimo of 1974. Do not let its small size fool you, because behind this coin lies a history that reflects politics, economy, culture, and the very identity of the Filipino people. The 10 Sentimo of 1974 belongs to the Flora and Fauna series, a set of coins introduced by the Central Bank of the Philippines in 1969. This series was groundbreaking because it shifted the coinage design from historical figures to native plants and animals, emphasizing the country's natural wealth. On the obverse of the 1974 10 Sentimo, you will see the image of the pili nut, a tree native to the Philippines that symbolizes abundance and agricultural heritage. This choice was no accident. The government wanted to highlight crops that represented livelihood and local pride. The reverse side of the coin displays the official seal of the Central Bank of the Philippines, signifying authority, monetary stability, and national identity. By 1974, the coin carried not just economic value, but also symbolic meaning as the country moved through an era of transformation. The 10 Sentimo was minted in copper nickel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. Despite being the second lowest denomination, it played a critical role in daily transactions, especially for small purchases like candies, jeepney fares, and street foods that define Filipino life. But why was 1974 so significant? This was a period under the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos. During martial law, coins became a way to promote nationalism and unity while also shifting public focus towards cultural heritage. The Flora and Fauna series replaced the English Series coins, which had been in use since the early years of independence. This was part of the broader Filipinization movement, where Filipino language, symbols, and culture were emphasized in government, schools, and even in money. For collectors, the 197 for 10 Sentimo is particularly valuable because of its low purchasing power. Most Filipinos at that time saw it as barya or loose change, often neglected, lost, or worn out. As a result, finding high-grade, uncirculated pieces today is quite rare. Coin production in the 1970s also reflected the modernization of the Philippine minting system. Technology was improving, yet occasional mint errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet flaws made their way into circulation, and these are highly prized by collectors. Even a coin as modest as the Philippine 10 Sentimo 1974 becomes a doorway to the past, connecting us to culture, identity, and history. To this day, owning this coin feels like holding a piece of 1970s Philippines in your hand. This coin also witnessed global events. In 1974, the world economy was shaken by the oil crisis. While this coin may seem small, it was in the pockets of Filipinos navigating rising costs and financial struggles. Today, this coin serves as a teaching tool for young collectors. It shows how even the smallest denominations can carry historical weight, political messages, and national pride. Some rare varieties of the 1970 for 10 Sentimo may exist with slightly different minting details, such as die rotations or surface anomalies. Collectors who specialize in errors often search tirelessly for such hidden gems. The coin also has symbolic value for historians. It represents a chapter where the Philippines was trying to craft its own identity, moving away from colonial influences toward proudly Filipino designs. Despite its small denomination, it played an everyday role in shaping the financial literacy of millions of Filipinos. In this sense, the coin's impact extends far beyond its monetary worth. In eBay and collector platforms, a 1974 10 Sentimo in uncirculated condition can sell from a few dollars up to higher amounts, depending on rarity and condition. Bulk sales of circulated examples are common, but premium is always paid for pristine coins. Its aesthetic appeal also makes it collectible. The warm tone of copper nickel and the detailed engraving of the pili nut give it a charm that stands out in a collection display. When viewed in the broader lens, the 197 for 10 Sentimo shows how coins are not just money but storytellers. They capture history, politics, nature, and everyday life in one circular piece. So while many people may dismiss the 10 Sentimo as small change, collectors know that its true value lies in the rich story it carries. Today, we dive deep into the story of a coin that holds a fascinating place in Philippine numismatic history, the 1971 Philippine 50 Sentimo. This coin is more than just half a peso in metal. It is a reflection of the country's journey through culture, economy, and national identity. Let us uncover its long history and unique story in detail. The 197150 Sentimo was part of the Pilipino Series introduced by the Central Bank of the Philippines. This series replaced the earlier English Series and was the first coin set to fully adopt the Filipino language in its inscriptions. This shift signified a growing pride in national heritage and identity after the country had endured centuries of colonial influence. The coin's obverse features the portrait of Marcelo H. del Pilar, a revolutionary writer, journalist, and national hero. He played a vital role in awakening Filipino nationalism during the Spanish colonial period, using his pen to inspire the people toward freedom. By featuring del Pilar, the coin honored the power of words and intellect in the fight for independence. The reverse of the coin carries the coat of arms of the Republic of the Philippines. This powerful symbol represents the nation's sovereignty, featuring the sun with rays, 3 stars symbolizing Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and the eagle and lion representing influences of the United States and Spain. It is a design steeped in meaning, telling the story of the country's struggles and triumphs. Made of copper nickel, the 1971 50 Sentimo was durable and practical for circulation. Its size and metal composition reflected the economic conditions of the Philippines at the time, as the government sought to balance affordability in production with utility for everyday commerce. The early 1970s were a turbulent period for the Philippines. Just a year after this coin was minted, martial law was declared in 1972. The 50 Sentimo of 1971, therefore, stands as one of the last coins issued before a major political shift that altered the nation's economy and governance for years to come. For many Filipinos of that era, the 50 centimo coin was part of daily life. It could pay for bus rides, snacks, or small household items. Holding one today brings back memories of simpler times, when children would save up these coins in piggy banks or spend them at sari-sari stores. Numismatists value this coin not only for its design, but also for its historical timing. Coins are more than money. They are miniature documents of the nation's journey. The 197150 Sentimo is a tangible reminder of the Philippines in transition economically, politically, and culturally. Collectors often note that coins from the Pilipino Series mark the beginning of modern Filipino coinage. The use of heroes like Del Pilar represented a deliberate step toward honoring the country's own figures rather than colonial ones. For this reason, the 50 centimo of 1971 is considered a cornerstone in Philippine coin history. In terms of circulation, these coins were quite common in the early years. However, with the passing of time and the transition to new coin designs, they gradually disappeared from daily transactions. Today, finding a 197150 Sentimo in circulation is nearly impossible. Collectors now seek them in mint condition, known as uncirculated coins. These are highly prized because most of the coins in circulation developed scratches, wear, and discoloration over the decades. An uncirculated 197150 Sentimo can command much higher interest in auctions. The portrait of Marcelo H. Del Pilar on the coin was carefully chosen, as he symbolizes patriotism through intellect and courage. His legacy resonates with Filipinos who continue to cherish freedom and expression. This makes the coin not only valuable in monetary terms, but also deeply symbolic in cultural terms. Another fascinating aspect of the 197150 Sentimo is its size and feel. Many people who grew up during that era remember how the coin had a weight and texture distinct from smaller denominations. It gave a sense of value that younger generations today may not have experienced. When examining the coin closely, you can see the details of Del Pilar's portrait, the crisp lettering of Republica ng Pilipinas, and the intricate elements of the coat of arms. These details make it a small work of art that reflects both skill and heritage. In numismatic circles, the 197150 Sentimo is often included in discussions about transitional coins. Transitional because they bridge the earlier English series and the later Flora and Fauna series. Each shift in coin design marked an evolving identity of the Philippines. For collectors abroad, the 1971 50 centimo also serves as a window into Philippine history. Many overseas Filipinos treasure these coins as keepsakes of their homeland, carrying emotional value that goes beyond mere currency. The coin also speaks of economic realities. At that time, 50 centimo had considerable purchasing power. Its decline in value over the decades reflects the story of inflation and economic change in the Philippines. One cannot talk about this coin without acknowledging its role in preserving the legacy of Marcelo H. Del Pilar. By placing him on the 50 centimo, the government ensured that generations